Now, I don't know about you guys, but I love it when the main character reincarnates and becomes badass. It just makes the story a lot more interesting, and it also gives you something to look forward to as well. So here's a list of the top 10 manhwas where the MC reincarnates. Lag. An unknown space where humans use abilities or skills through awakening. Monsters appear on each floor and room, and missions are given accordingly. Now this manhwa is rather special because even though the main character returns to the past, his experience from before becomes totally useless, since the future of Lag keeps changing, so he has to rely on his luck and his own skills, which keeps the story from being too predictable while also being very entertaining. So you can definitely check this one out. Return of the Broken Constellation. A lowly human who ascended to the position of a god, twilight of the gods. After becoming infamous as an unpleasant god, he lost his constellation, belief, divine authority, everything. His holiness was cut off and his holy power disappeared. Well, I'm gonna try and be generous for this one. It's boring. At first I thought I found something good and that it was gonna be interesting, but I didn't even finish the first chapter and I could tell how the story was gonna play out. Honestly, the art is good, and that's the only thing this story has going for it. But you can always ignore what I say and go read it. The Heavenly Demon destroys the Lich King's murim. An unknown voice disturbed him while he was levitating during his cultivation to reach the transcendent demonic state. His concentration had been broken and he fell into an unconscious overload state. When he awoke a month later, the Lich King had already taken control of the murim. After the battle that had ended with the destruction of the Heavenly Demon cult, he awoke 140 years later in a murim where magic and martial arts coexisted. Now, if you're looking for something similar to the Chronicles of the Heavenly Demon, then this is it. It's got the action and of course cultivation as well. So basically the main character was a sect leader but didn't care about his sect at all, and it got destroyed by a skeleton or something like that. And he also died and got reincarnated. I'd say it was a fun read and it definitely matched my expectations, so you guys should like it as well. Player from today onwards. It's been 100 years since ordinary people turned into livestock to live as hunters' slaves. One day, while training hard to become a hunter to fix his unreasonable situation, he was attacked by Eden's Athena, who wanted the diary of the Demon King. Thanks to the powers of his mentor, he succeeded in going back 100 years into the past. Now, for me, I don't care if the story is generic or not, even though most people don't like it. As long as it's entertaining, I'll read it. And that's exactly what this does. Yeah, it is generic and might not have anything unique about it, but it's definitely not boring and the art won't disappoint either, so just give this one a try. Killer Stall. Cho, a middle-aged restaurant owner, is being ripped off by a couple of no-good teenagers. They might think he's a nobody, but there's a past him that nobody knows, and nobody should know. Is he just a peaceful shopkeeper, or is he something more than that? Now, no matter how you look at it, this is just a well-put-together manhwa. It's not insanely outstanding, but it's better than a lot of other manhwas out there. The pacing of the story is on point, and the way the author builds up suspense, you have to read another chapter and another one, until you're completely hooked. The legendary Spearman returns. Joshua Sanders, the legendary spearman who ended the brutal civil war, shattered the belief that one must wield a sword to be a master knight. He fought in the service of his friend, Emperor Caesar von Britain, but it is all for naught when his fearful comrades try to kill him. He's on the brink of death when his trusty weapon, Lucia, shines and propels him back to the stables of his childhood. With his mighty spear in hand, Joshua is dead set on revenge in this life. Now, this one had me really hyped. It's on par with Solo Leveling, if not better. The art is absolutely beautiful, and the storyline is just so damn exciting. If you haven't read this yet, what are you waiting for? It's really great. The Swordmaster's Son. Jinrun Kandel is the youngest son of the greatest Swordsmaster. After he gets himself kicked out of their clan, he meets a tragic fate. But before he dies, a god gives him a second chance. Now he must use his new power for good. Will Jin become the world's strongest swordmaster and live up to his greatest potential? So this is a regression type manhwa where the main character was trash in his previous life, but reincarnates and becomes badass. The plot is decent, but it's really the characters that makes this manhwa worth reading, since the story itself isn't really that unique, but if you're a weak to strong lover and you like smart MCs, then you'll love this either way, as long as you're not too worried about action, since the pacing is a bit slow. Doombreaker. Zephyr is the last human fighting evil in a world abandoned by the gods. When he is killed in battle by Tartarus, the god of destruction, all hope for humanity seems lost, but Zephyr's fate is not sealed. The gods who find his battle entertaining have gifted him a second chance at life, as he is sent 10 years into the past, back to when he was a slave instead of the most powerful human alive. After you read a few chapters of this manhwa, you'll realize that even though it does have some similarities to other manhwas, it has different components in the story that makes it different as well. And the characters themselves makes the story worth reading even more since each one gets their time to shine, which can make you understand them a lot more. So as of right now, I can't find anything bad about this manhwa. It's just a really great manhwa. The story of a low-rank soldier becoming a monarch. When he was 15, he lost his right hand on the battlefield. When he was 24, he mastered the skills that were necessary for his survival. But he was always told the same things over and over. Just quit. Just live like everybody else. When he was 39, he lost his left hand and fell off a cliff. And when he swallowed the artifact he had no knowledge about, he was reborn as a 15-year-old rookie. From weather-worn mercenary Chris to young soldier Chris. Now, it has a great and unique storyline. Art is on the weird side, but it's kind of a variety. It's not that stunning, but it's unique. The characters in the story are very likable and awesome, if I do say so myself. It's definitely worth reading. Rebirth. What would you do if you are given a second chance to turn back time and relive your past? Would you do what you did back then for fear of the butterfly effect? Or would you take a different course of action and let the future speak for itself? This manhwa is mostly focused on family relationships, but it has a good amount of action as well, and the art style is rather unique and beautiful. The story takes place in a world overrun by zombies and people that develop special abilities as well. The main character died in his previous life but was sent back in time by some powerful being named Law, and so he sets out to do things that he regrets not doing in his previous life. Now that's the end of the video. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.